Welcome back to The Takeout. The wife of a retired Army sergeant was recently detained by Immigration, Customs, and Enforcement. She's now facing deportation, despite her husband's nearly 2 decades of service to our country. The husband is now trying to fight her deportation. CBS News immigration correspondent Camilo Montoya-Galvez spoke exclusively with that Army sergeant, joins us now. Camilo, what's the story here?
Hi, Major. Well, Staff Sergeant Wilmer Trujillo, retired Staff Sergeant Wilmer Trujillo, served in the U.S. Army and the Texas National Guard for about 20 years. He enlisted right after high school in the late 1990s. He retired in 2021 after meeting his current wife, Arelis Bonarte Martinez, and the reason that she was detained, according to ICE, is because she has a deportation order, Major, dating back to 2005, over 20 years ago. And over the past 8 years, since her last entry into the U.S. in 2018, she has been routinely checking in with ICE. That was happening without any incidents up until last week. Let's take a listen to what the sergeant told us. How does it make you feel that a part of the same government that you served is now detaining your wife and potentially planning to deport her?
It breaks me because the country I worked my entire life for is ripping my family apart and taking away my wife. It makes me sick to my stomach.
Has this been the hardest, most difficult challenge you've ever encountered in your life?
Yes.
More so than being deployed overseas?
More so than being overseas, and never thought I'd be in this situation where I'm begging my own country to let my wife go so we can do our thing the right way.
And Major, ICE detentions of military spouses or the spouses of U.S. service members or veterans were historically rare under prior administrations. But the Trump administration has taken the legal position that anyone here with a deportation order, even if they're not a criminal, should be prioritized for deportation and expelled from the country. The Trump administration, again, says that this woman deserves due process, that she received that due process, and now she should be returning to Honduras. What the lawyer for that family is arguing is that she would be eligible for a green card if her deportation order is nullified. Major.
What options does this family have? And by any measure, Camilo, because you know how the administration defines this terminology, worst of the worst, is there anything about this woman's life in America that remotely puts her in a category even close to worst of the worst?
No, Major. She does not have any criminal charges or convictions. She has a clean criminal record in the U.S. She did enter the U.S. illegally twice, according to the Department of Homeland Security, and is facing civil violations of immigration law because of those illegal entries. But they were adjudicated in immigration court in a civil setting. She's not a public safety threat, according to ICE, the Department of Homeland Security, and the government. But again, from the administration's perspective, she did receive full due process. An immigration judge ordered her deported, and they believe that she should be returning home. What the family is arguing, Major, is that but for that deportation order, she would be eligible for a green card because she's married to a U.S. citizen who also happened to serve in the military, and she lacks a criminal record. And so if they are able to convince an immigration judge to reopen her deportation case, she would be eligible to become a legal permanent resident, and then eventually a U.S. citizen.
All falls under the heading of priorities, immigration and otherwise. Camilo Montoya-Galvez, thank you very, very much.